Mornings are more than just the start of a day. They're the foundation that everything else is built on. The way you show up in those first few hours will set the tone for everything that follows, whether you realize it or not. Too often, we treat mornings like a hurdle to get past instead of a launch pad to propel us forward. We rush through them on autopilot, letting habits, distractions, and other people's priorities dictate how we begin. But here's the truth: if you can win the morning, you can win the day. It's not about cramming in more work or forcing yourself into a rigid routine. It's about being intentional. It's about using those first moments to align your mind, your energy, and your focus so you step into the day already in control. And when you do that, you're not just reacting to life, you're leading it. The way you start your morning is the way you set the stage for everything that follows. And yet, most of us don't start with intention. We start with distraction. Post. Before we've even fully opened our eyes, we're reaching for our phones, scrolling through notifications, checking emails, reacting to messages. In those first few minutes, we're already letting the outside world decide our mood, our priorities, and in many ways, the quality of our entire day. Here's the thing most people don't realize. The first moments of your morning are like the opening scene of a movie. They establish the tone, the pace, and the direction. If you start rushed, scattered, and reactive, that's the script you'll keep playing for the next 12 or 14 hours. But if you start with clarity, focus, and purpose, you give yourself the power to direct the story instead of just reacting to it. We've all had those mornings where we wake up late, scramble to get ready, spill coffee on ourselves, forget something important, and then wonder why the whole day feels like an uphill battle. It's not that bad luck suddenly decided to target you. It's that your mind and body never got a chance to settle into a rhythm that supports you. When you start in chaos, you carry chaos. Starting with intention means asking yourself one simple question before anything else. What do I want this day to be about? Not what's on my calendar, not what's waiting in my inbox. What matters most today? That's the question that centers you, that keeps you from getting hijacked by every little distraction that tries to steal your attention. And here's where it gets powerful. When you set your intention before the world can set it for you, you begin to lead your day instead of chase it. You decide what has meaning, what has priority, and what gets your energy. Without that decision, you end up giving your best focus to the loudest thing, not the most important thing. Some people hear this and think, but I can't control what happens in my day. So? And they're right. You can't control everything. You can't stop the unexpected phone call, the last minute change, or the traffic jam. But you can control how you enter the day. You can decide whether you show up scattered and reactive, or calm and prepared. And that choice makes all the difference in how you handle whatever comes your way. Think about the difference between a soldier running into battle without a plan versus one who's had time to prepare. The circumstances might still be unpredictable, but the outcome changes because the mindset changes. Your morning is your preparation. It's your chance to armor yourself with clarity and purpose before you face the unpredictability of life. So, what does it actually look like to start with intention? It can be as simple as keeping your phone out of reach for the first 30 minutes, giving yourself time to breathe, to think, to focus on what you want to achieve. Maybe it's writing down your top 3 priorities for the day. Maybe it's spending a few minutes in quiet reflection or simply enjoying your coffee without distraction. It doesn't have to be complicated, but it has to be intentional. The hardest part is resisting the pull of distraction. The phone will always be there. The emails will always be there. But so will your mind, your thoughts, your energy, and those are far more valuable. You wouldn't hand over your car keys to a stranger and let them drive you wherever they wanted to go. So why would you hand over your attention to the world before you've even decided where you want to go yourself? When you make the choice to start with intention, you'll notice something incredible. Your mornings stop feeling rushed. Your mind feels lighter. You're more present, more focused, more in control. And it's not because the world got easier, it's because you started stronger. This is why winning the morning matters so much. You're not just getting through those first hours, you're setting the emotional and mental foundation for everything that comes next. And when that foundation is strong, you can handle the surprises, the challenges, and the pressure without losing your balance. Start your morning with intention, and you'll find that you don't just win the first hour, you win the momentum that carries you through the rest of the day. Because the way you choose to begin is the way you choose to live. Movement is one of the most underestimated tools we have for shaping our mindset, yet most of us treat it like an optional extra. Something we'll get to, if we have time. But here's the truth. How your body feels shapes how your mind thinks. You can't expect to feel sharp, focused, and ready to tackle challenges if you start your day with stiffness, fatigue, and sluggishness. Movement is more than exercise. It's a signal to your brain that the day has begun and that you're ready to meet it. When you wake up, your body has been still for hours. Your circulation is slow, your muscles are tight, and your energy is at a baseline. That's why so many people feel groggy for the first part of the morning. It's not just a mental fog, it's a physical one. The quickest way to clear it isn't another cup of coffee, it's moving your body. Even a few minutes of stretching, walking, or light exercise wakes up your nervous system, boosts your blood flow, and releases the kind of chemicals in your brain that tell you, oh, we're alive, we're alert, and we're ready. It's fascinating how the smallest physical changes can create massive shifts in how we feel. Think about a time you were feeling tired or unmotivated, but then you went for a brisk walk or did a short workout, and suddenly your mind felt sharper, your mood lifted, and the tasks ahead seemed more manageable. That's not magic. That's biology working in your favor. And the beautiful part is, you don't need an hour-long workout to get it. You just need enough movement to flip the switch from sluggish to switched on. Now, I know the resistance that comes up here. Mornings are busy. You've got responsibilities, deadlines, maybe kids to get ready. Adding movement might feel like one more thing on an already crowded to-do list. But what I've learned is that movement isn't another thing you add to your morning. It's the thing that makes every other part of your morning easier. When you get your body moving, you're not losing time, you're buying energy, focus, and resilience for the rest of the day. Movement also does something else that's crucial. It gives you a quick win right out of the gate. Before the emails, before the meetings, before the challenges, you've already done something good for yourself. That sense of accomplishment, no matter how small, builds momentum. And momentum is what makes you feel like you're winning the morning instead of just surviving it. It doesn't have to look the same for everyone. For some, it might be a run or a workout. For others, just a set of stretches, a few yoga poses, or even a walk around the block. The point isn't to burn a certain number of calories or hit a specific fitness goal. It's to wake up your body so your mind can follow. This is about priming your system for the demands of the day, not chasing some arbitrary standard. And movement isn't just about the physical benefits. It's a mindset exercise in disguise. When you push yourself to move, even when you don't feel like it, you're building the muscle of discipline. You're telling yourself, I can do hard things. I can start, even when it's uncomfortable. That discipline you build in those first few minutes doesn't stay in the gym or on the yoga mat. It follows you into your work, your relationships, and every challenge you face. Some mornings you won't feel like moving, and those are the days it matters most. Because when you push through that resistance, you're not just waking up your body, you're proving to yourself that you are in charge, not your mood, not your excuses. That's a powerful way to start a day. There's also a deeper benefit we rarely think about. Movement gives you a chance to connect with yourself before the world starts demanding things from you. It's a space to breathe, to focus inward, to feel alive in your own skin. In a world that's constantly pulling our attention outward, that short time of connection with your body is grounding. It reminds you that no matter what happens today, you've already shown up for yourself. The goal here isn't perfection. You're not aiming to crush an intense workout every single morning. The goal is consistency, showing up for even a few minutes every day so that movement becomes as natural as brushing your teeth. When it's part of your identity, you stop negotiating with yourself about whether to do it. You just do it. And that reliability, that ability to count on yourself, is one of the greatest forms of self-confidence you can build. Because when you move your body first thing in the morning, you're not just preparing for the day, you're declaring how you're going to meet it. And that declaration, made with your actions instead of just your words, is the first victory you'll carry with you into everything that follows. Win the first move, and you'll find yourself winning the rest of the day. Most people start their mornings in reaction mode. They wake up, and before they've even gotten out of bed, they're responding to emails, to texts, to headlines, to whatever demands come screaming for their attention first. The problem with that is simple. The second you start reacting, you've handed over the steering wheel of your day. You're no longer deciding the direction. You're simply responding to the traffic around you. And when you live like that, it's almost impossible to feel like you're truly in control. The morning is your chance to set the tone before the world starts pulling at you from every angle. And one of the most powerful ways to do that is to take charge of your schedule before your schedule takes charge of you. That doesn't mean filling every minute with productivity or trying to get ahead of everyone else. It means stepping into the driver's seat with clarity about what matters most. When you begin the day by deciding what you will focus on, rather than reacting to whatever lands in your lap, you create a kind of shield for your time and energy. It's like walking into a storm with a solid roof over your head. You still feel the wind, you still hear the noise, but you're protected from getting swept away. I've met people who swear they don't have time to plan their day. But I've also seen those same people lose hours reacting to things that could have been managed, delegated, or even ignored if they'd been proactive instead of reactive. The truth is, it's not about having time, it's about making time. Spending 10 minutes in the morning mapping out what you need to do and when you're going to do it will save you hours of frustration later. There's a certain discipline required to protect that planning time, especially when your phone is buzzing and your inbox is filling up. But the payoff is massive. When you've already chosen your priorities for the day, you're less likely to get derailed by things that feel urgent but aren't actually important. You start operating from a place of intention, not from a place of panic. Quote, place of panic. Think of it like this. Every morning, you're given a set of building blocks, the hours of your day. If you don't decide what you're going to build, other people will happily stack those blocks for you, and they'll build whatever suits their needs, not yours. But when you start by placing the biggest, most important blocks first, your key tasks, your commitments, your non-negotiables, you leave less space for meaningless distractions to sneak in and take over. This isn't about being rigid. Life happens. Plans change. But when you've set your course before the chaos begins, you're better equipped to adapt without losing your sense of direction. You might need to make adjustments, but you're not starting from zero every time something unexpected happens. One of the best habits you can develop is to identify your top 3 priorities every morning. 3 things that, if you accomplish them, will make the day feel successful. Not 30 things, not every possible task, just 3. And 3. That kind of focus sharpens your decision making and gives you a clear sense of progress, even on the busiest days. And here's the thing. This isn't just about productivity, it's about peace of mind. When you know where your time is going, you don't end the day wondering what happened to it. You finish with a sense of accomplishment instead of a lingering feeling that you've been busy but achieved nothing meaningful. When you lead your day instead of reacting to it, you also send a message to yourself about your own value. You're saying, my time matters. My focus matters. My work matters. That mindset shift changes the way you show up, not just for your tasks, but for your relationships, your health, and your personal growth. The morning will always offer you a choice. You can either let the day happen to you, or you can happen to the day. One is about reaction. The other is about creation. And if you want to win the day, you have to choose creation every single time. Because the way you direct your time in those first hours will echo through everything you do. And when you own your time, You own your day. Before the world has the chance to fill your head with its noise, you have a rare window of opportunity. Those quiet morning moments when your mind is fresh, uncluttered, and open. What you choose to feed it in that time matters more than you think. If the very first thing you consume is negativity, whether it's breaking news designed to provoke, endless social media scrolls, or emails that demand your energy, you've already handed over control of your day to someone else's agenda. Duh. The morning is the one time of day when the outside world hasn't yet stormed the gates of your attention. It's a fragile, powerful space. That's why feeding your mind before the world feeds you isn't just a nice idea. It's a necessity for winning the day. Think about it this way. If you were preparing for a big race, you wouldn't load up on junk food right before stepping onto the track. You'd fuel your body with something that sustains you, something that gives you the energy to perform at your best. The same goes for your mind. The thoughts, words, and ideas you consume first thing in the morning shape your mindset for the hours ahead. Some people say they don't have time in the morning for anything beyond the bare minimum. Wake up, get dressed, rush out the door. But that's exactly why they feel like they're chasing the day instead of leading it. Even 5 minutes of purposeful mental input can change the entire rhythm of your day. Tested and read a few pages from a book that inspires you. Write down 3 goals or reflections in a journal. Listen to a podcast or speech that challenges your thinking in a positive way. Doesn't have to be long, but it does have to be intentional. When you take that time, you are telling yourself and the world that your thoughts are worth protecting. You're setting boundaries for your attention. And over time, this builds mental resilience. Suddenly, you're not as easily rattled by the first stressful email that hits your inbox or the first piece of bad news you hear on the radio. You've already anchored yourself in something stronger before the world even had the chance to pull you in all directions. I've seen people transform their mornings simply by changing the very first thing they do. Instead of grabbing their phone from the nightstand, they grab a notebook and write down what they're grateful for. Instead of scrolling through news headlines designed to provoke fear or outrage, they read a few paragraphs from a book that helps them grow. These small decisions compound, and before long, they're walking into their day with confidence and clarity instead of stress and reaction. The truth is, your mind is like fertile soil in the morning. Anything you plant will grow. Whoa. If you plant seeds of negativity, doubt, or distraction, that's what you'll harvest throughout the day. But if you plant seeds of hope, clarity, and purpose, those will take root instead. The morning is your chance to be the gardener, not just the consumer. One thing I've noticed is that people who win their mornings also win their relationships, their work, and their sense of inner peace. Why? Because they're operating from a place of intentionality rather than reactivity. They've taken ownership of their mindset before stepping into the chaos of the world. It's not about pretending problems don't exist. It's about fortifying yourself so you can face them with strength and perspective. So tomorrow, before you check the news, before you scroll through your feed, before you read one email, ask yourself, what do I want my mind to be filled with today? Then choose something worthy of your time and attention. Feed your mind before the world feeds you, and you'll find that the rest of your day doesn't just happen to you, you lead it. And when you lead your day, you lead your life.